Philadelphia Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts is set to become the highest paid player in NFL history. The Eagles and Hurts agreed to a 5-year, $255 million contract extension that works out to $51 million a year for the 24-year-old. The extension also includes the Eagles' first ever no-trade clause, effectively barring the team from trading Hurts without his or his agent's permission. Joining us now to talk more about this is Josh Tolentino. He is a Philadelphia Eagles reporter with the Philadelphia Inquirer. So, Josh, good to talk with you. Last season began with a lot of questions about if Hurts could be a franchise quarterback. That was the start of last season. What are we hearing this season?
And Vlad, as you pointed out, really at the beginning of summer last year, the Eagles entered this past season with a lot of questions hovering Jalen Hurts. Last year, during their playoff exit to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Tom Brady, Jalen Hurts did not look like himself today. I mean, this was a quarterback who was forced into rush decisions. He wasn't necessarily comfortable throwing to certain parts of the field. And to Hurts' credit, he worked so much over this past year, and he climbed to the top of the NFL tiers of quarterbacks. And here he is. He gets paid handsomely. And kudos to Jalen, to his agent, Nicole Lynn, believed to be the first woman to negotiate this type of deal, this first black woman to negotiate this type of deal. And also the Eagles, because this is, as large as this contract is, it's still considered a team-friendly deal when you look specifically at the numbers here over these next couple years. Jalen Hurts gets paid, but it also allows the Eagles to compete and try to reach that Super Bowl level again.
Mm-hmm. And how does the contract stack up against other contracts with other quarterbacks?
Yes, and that was the biggest thing heading into this offseason, is that there's a quadruple of quarterbacks here waiting to get paid. Soon to be paid franchise quarterback club is what they say. They've got Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, and Lamar Jackson. And Jalen, he's the first to strike gold here, and he kind of sets the market. Currently the highest paid player, as is what's been mentioned, but we'll see what comes out here with these contracts over these next few weeks and months leading up to training camp. But Jalen certainly sets that floor there, topping out at $51 million per year.
So in reality, how long might he stay as the highest paid quarterback? It's usually this sets the precedent, and then the next player coming up, the next number. I mean, remember,
maybe everyone else has to thank his agent as well.
Exactly. But, you know, he wasn't even a first-round draft pick.
Well, his story is great. Like we talked about, you know, of course, that, you know, he's got a female agent, but his whole management team are all women. But you can probably talk a little bit more about his college story, because he was benched, right, in the middle of a championship game.
Right.
And, you know, that you would think that would do sort of a psychological number on you. And instead, it only made him stronger.
Certainly, and you put in a great point. Everyone knows about that championship game where he was benched in favor of Tua Tagovailoa, who went on to win that championship there for Alabama, throwing a touchdown to Jalen Hurts' now teammate Devontae Smith here in Philadelphia. Just an amazing story. And as you point out, his all-female management team. I'm going to retell a story here really quick. But back in July, right before the Eagles convened for training camp and went on this magical run to the Super Bowl, Jalen Hurts, he held his first youth camp here in Philadelphia. It was at a high school out here in downtown Philadelphia. And, you know, Jalen Hurts arrives. All the kids are waiting for him. There's literally hundreds and hundreds of youth kids, elementary aged kids. You know, they're going crazy, going so excited. And Jalen, he steps out of a vehicle and he's accompanied by 5 females. So, and, you know, all throughout the day, whenever you needed anything, Jalen always had deflected to his female management team. Nicole Lynn, his agent, obviously was with him, his marketing agent, Rachel Everett. And he just put so much belief in this all-female team. He points to his mother, Pamela, who is a school teacher back in his native Houston, Texas, and also his younger sister, Kennedy, a volleyball star down there in Texas. And again, kudos to Jalen and his team as they worked out this deal with the Eagles, securing him here through his age 30 season in 2028.
Yeah, it's only 24. He's got a lot.
So let's talk about, you know, this no trade clause. I mean, that's kind of also really fascinating that, I mean, I've never heard of anything like that before.
Yeah, it's very rare in the NFL, and certainly with this Eagles team, Jalen Hurts, the first player in franchise history. You think about all the storied players that have played for this franchise: Donovan McNabb, Mike Vick, Randall Cunningham. Jalen Hurts, the first player, the first quarterback in Eagles history to get a no-trade clause. That's basically an indicator of both sides having firm trust. And, in my conversations with team owner Jeffrey Lurie over these past few weeks and general manager Howie Roseman, it wasn't that long ago where they handed out a big contract to another quarterback who they believe to be their franchise quarterback. When comparing the two, Carson Wentz here and now Jalen Hurts, they really just speak to the work ethic. I mean, this is a guy that's basically first at the facility during 6 a.m. He's there late hours, 8, 9 p.m. He eats, breathes, consumes football, his teammates, and that's why the Eagles put that no trade clause on there. He's not going to be able to go to another team until 2028. And Jalen's turning 30 in that year, and who knows, maybe he's set for another contract. But this certainly sets him up for life, financially, and he gets to take care of him and his family, which you can always give kudos to.
Well, I know Eagles Nation is happy about this news because everyone sort of fell in love with him. Because the other thing about him is he's such a likable guy.
Dude,
you can't help but to want to support him. Josh Tolentino, thank you so much.
And Vlad, always a pleasure.